A traveling nurse's assistant from Detroit was killed while on assignment in the Seattle area. Police are looking for his girlfriend, who they say fled after that shooting. Jacqueline Francis joins us live after talking with the victim's father tonight. Jacqueline.
Pamela, the victim, 31-year-old Christopher Wilson, was born and raised here in Detroit, but he was on assignment, as you said, in the Seattle area. That's where he was shot and killed last month. They believe it was some sort of domestic violence situation, and his family is pleading for answers. This is Christopher Wilson.
Like video games, like eating, like cooking, like fishing, joking around with his brothers. Always a big smile on his face.
Wilson's father says his youngest son was a Detroit native and had just celebrated his 31st birthday. Days later, he was gunned down. It happened in the Seattle area, where Wilson was on assignment as a traveling nurse's assistant. Neighbors called police to the area of his home on June 10th after reportedly hearing gunshots. Hours later, police were able to get inside the house where he was found shot to death.
He was healthy and happy within 12 to 14 hours. And they give me a phone call in the middle of the night, tell me that he's no longer here.
Investigators are looking for this woman, 29-year-old Shantia Hamilton. She was Wilson's girlfriend, and police believe she's a suspect in his killing. Hamilton fled in this vehicle and has not been seen since. Wilson's dad believes she also has ties to the Detroit area.
If you know her whereabouts, you need to inform the local authorities, so therefore she can be brought to justice and answer a few questions as to what happened in that apartment on that given evening.
If you have any information on this case, you're asked to contact Everett Police. That's in Washington. We'll put that contact information on our website, clickondetroit.com. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Hopefully someone does know something and gives police a call. Jacqueline, thank you.
Have you seen Shantia Hamilton? That's the question Everett police are asking tonight as their search for her begins to widen to other states. She is accused of murdering a traveling nursing assistant inside his apartment.
And now detectives say that she's on the run. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling talked to the victim's father and joins us from Everett with much more on how a bullet hole in a neighbor's car led them to that crime scene.
Christopher Wilson's family says he was from Michigan and was in town for work. They say that Shantia Hamilton was his girlfriend of at least 2 years, and they want the public to help find her and bring her to justice if she's responsible.
Christopher was a joyous young man.
Cornelius Wilson says his son Christopher's hometown was Detroit, but he was typically traveling the country as a certified nursing assistant, most recently living at this apartment home and working in Everett.
For one, he said it gives me opportunity to go places I probably would never go.
Shown here with two of his brothers, Chris was known for his love of food, sharp sense of humor, and joyous outlook on life.
He liked fishing, video games, telling jokes, had fun with his brothers. Would always have a smile on his face.
Though he wasn't a big sports guy, he always helped his mom cheer on her teams.
Lions, Tigers, or Pistons. She's into all of that, and he would sit right there along with her. And
Cornelius talked to Chris June 9th, the day before he was found shot to death, the bullet holes visible outside his home. Cornelius says Chris's girlfriend, Shantia Hamilton, also worked as a traveling medical professional. Police say she's missing, along with her Chevy Cobalt.
A heinous act was committed against my son. If she isn't directly responsible for it, then she has knowledge of who may be responsible for it.
I talked to neighbors who say the complex often housed traveling medical professionals like Chris. The morning he was killed, police say another neighbor called to report shuffling and 3 pops. Responding officers said they didn't see anything suspicious and nobody answered at his apartment. Hours later, another neighbor took these photos after finding a bullet hole in her car. When she called police, she said they put 2 and 2 together and found Chris deceased.
If this individual had nothing to do with it, then why is she not being able to be located? Why has she been silent?
Cornelius says Chris went to a casino the night before he was shot, and Hamilton may have been with him.
This must have been your boyfriend, former boyfriend, or whatever it may have been. According to the police, she was seen at the location. She was seeing him previous that evening. Now she can't be found.
Chris's family says that his nickname for Shantia was Tay, and police say that her Chevy Cobalt had Michigan plates. We'll put all the information in the story on our website at fox13seattle.com, along with those plate numbers. Reporting in Everett, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.
Manhunt is over for this Michigan woman accused of shooting and killing a traveling certified nursing assistant in Everett. Christopher Wilson was found dead inside his apartment on Baker Avenue on June 10th.
Tonight, we've learned that his former girlfriend, Shantae Grimes Hamilton, was arrested in Ohio. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling spoke with the victim's father, joining us live now with more on how the family is feeling about this arrest. Jennifer.
Good evening. Well, I spoke with Christopher Wilson's dad. He says that he's relieved that she's been found and will be sent back to Washington to face justice. He says that Christopher was considering moving out of his apartment just before he was killed. He wants to know if that's related and when she'll be coming back to Washington.
There's a relief to where which an individual is in custody.
Cornelius Wilson spoke to us by phone. Grateful police finally caught up with Shantae Grimes Hamilton, the lone suspect Everett police named in his son's murder. This is her booking photo out of Ohio. An Everett detective called to tell him the news.
He just informed me that she was apprehended in Toledo.
Grimes Hamilton has been missing since Christopher was found shot to death June 10th in this apartment complex in Everett. Shown here with his brothers, Christopher was from Detroit, Michigan, and was working as a traveling certified nursing assistant in Washington.
Christopher was a fun-loving young man, like fishing, like his video games, like cooking, always with a joke. Christopher, I've never seen him necessarily a down and out person.
A neighbor told police they heard shuffling and 3 pops the night that he was shot. The next day, bullet holes were found in his apartment walls and even in a neighbor's car parked across the street. Cornelius says Grimes Hamilton also worked as a traveling healthcare professional and had previously dated his son, but he believes the relationship may have been over.
He had said he had separated himself from her about 40 days or 45 days prior to this happening, as far as a relationship, but still in communications with her.
Prior to his death, Cornelius says Christopher was in good spirits and looking forward to moving.
We have a young man who was a hard worker, taking steps to distance himself from a young lady who obviously who was deeply disturbed.
The family is hoping for more answers.
This is 31 days from his murder, and she made it from Everett, Washington to Toledo, Ohio. And if she did it on her own, there's a possibility. Does she have assistance along the way? That's something that needs to be concerned. But through the investigation, hopefully the police department will be able to ascertain that information, how she's able to get from the West Coast to the Midwest.
And Cornelius says that Grimes Hamilton was found about 65 miles from her last known address in Detroit. It's still unclear when she'll go to face a Snohomish County judge next. Reporting live, Jennifer Dowling.